Hey everybody, I got a new hardware-free item for your hammock. Today we're going to make a pigtail loop for the end of your gathered end hammock. Before we get started and make the loop, I'll show you the two wires I use for splicing. So I use number 12 and number 16. I'll put the link in the description. That's how I make these little splicing tools. I just bend it like that. I use a little bent nose pliers like this to bend it, to create a little bend. And then this piece here is just a nylon hanger that has been broken at the right spot to create a little ergonomic handle. And of course there are these ones too, the D-splicer units, but this thing is big and heavy, and having this right here is a lot easier, and you can fold it perfectly to make it perfectly ergonomic to fit whatever line you're using. Number 16 is great for 7/64 diameter, and number 12 is great for 1/75 and 2 millimeter and even 1 millimeter. Okay, so now let's make our pigtail loop. So we just need 30 inches of 7/64 diameter am steel, and the ends will be thinned out. So the first thing we do is we fold it at 10 inches. So I'm going to grab 10 inches right here and fold it over. So now you see we got a long piece and a short piece. So the first thing we're going to do is start a locked Brummel, and we're going to do that at 7 inches. So there's our fold, our 10-inch fold, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right there. So the first thing we're going to do is start with the short piece and pull the long piece through. So I've gone through the short piece, then I'm going to grab the long piece and pull it through. Okay, see what we got there? So we're just doing a locked Brummel, basically. And so then I'm going to go through the long piece now and grab the little piece. So I'm going through the long piece right here, then I'm going to grab that short piece that's hanging out, pull that one through to complete the locked Brummel. Whoa, we didn't grab it right. That's something that can happen. Don't worry. Just start again. Go back through. Grab it. Grab a little more of it. Don't be in a hurry like I just did. And so now we have the beginnings of a locked Brummel. Just like we were making a big loop on the end here. But now we're just going to take this piece that we have, our short piece, and fold it back and just bury it inside. This is the loop part of our pigtail loop. So we're going to enter the loop part and then come out up here and pull that piece in there. So I'm just entering the loop, going all the way up to that locked Brummel that we created, capturing the short piece, and then I'm just going to bring it in there. Bring it in there and pull it all the way out, and then milk the hollow braid back over the top. So now we have our loop section. Then we have this pigtail piece over here. So for the pigtail piece, we're just going to capture 4 inches, 2, 3, 4 inches, fold it down like that. And then we're going to bury this 4-inch piece inside of the remaining long piece. So just enter the braid down here a little ways and go all the way up to your fold at 4 inches. There's the 4-inch fold. Come out, grab the remaining piece and pull it inside of there. And once it comes out, you can see it's almost all the way in. We can pull it a little bit more and then get our splicing tool free, and we can pull the braid over itself. So now we're just going to do a double overhand knot like this. We're going to run the double overhand knot right up to the part where it's double thick, so that we still have some thin right here. So we want all of the double thick part to be part of the knot or part of the tail. The tail will be about 1 inch, and you can pull it tight by hand and work it a little bit tighter, but that's it. That's the pigtail piece. So now we have a pigtail loop for the end of our hammock. Super easy, super fast to do. And now I'll show you this in the end of a hammock and show you what you can do with it. So here's our hammock with the pigtail loop installed. This is a prototype one, so it's a little bit shorter than that blue one we just made. Normally this loop would be just a little bit longer. But here's what it does. First off, it's a soft shackle. You take this loop right here, or I'm sorry, the pigtail, and you go back into the pigtail loop, and you have an instant soft shackle. You can connect up to a whoopee sling or anything else. And since this strand right here is so narrow, these two strands close really tight around that double overhand knot. So you have a really dependable soft shackle right on the end of your continuous loop. Now if you're not using the soft shackle, it'll just hang there and it'll become a water break. Okay, so now for the next thing, this is going to work with your Hummingbird and Eagle's Nest Outfitters Helios suspensions that use a toggle or button, because this little knot will replace the toggle or button. I don't have a Hummingbird one with me, but I have an Eagle's Nest Outfitters one, so I'll show you. So see, it'll just connect right up to the place where you would need the toggle or the nylon button. I'll put a description in the link of those two systems so you can see how that works. Okay, next up, let's do some daisy chain suspension. Okay, so you got some daisy chain suspension. You can just open up one of the loops wherever you want to hang, and then go in with your pigtail, and then come back around and hook it in here, and you got an instant shackle on the end of your suspension. Now, if you want to do a little different way, let me use the blue loop to illustrate this, since this one is a little bit short. But what you would do is flip a lark's head into the end of your loop, and then pass some of your daisy chain webbing through. And now this is your hammock suspension hanging on your daisy chain webbing. I've done this before, but with this one, it's all part of it. Wherever you want to stop, wherever you want your setting to be, you can just open up your daisy chain. This is Dyneema daisy chain, so it's like super soft. It's not as easy to work with as the heavy duty stuff, but you just put this in here below your lark's head, and then when the lark's head slides down, you're secure on your daisy chain. And to take this loose, you just slide it up away from the stitched part and grab your pigtail, and then when you pull on the pigtail, it will open the lark's head up. So this lark's head will kind of jam a little bit. It'll get to where it doesn't want to slide easy, but you just pull on the pigtail and it'll open up the lark's head, and then it'll slide up and down real easy. So with this method of using the daisy chain, your hammock will always kind of be hanging out. It won't just fall off whenever you release the soft shackle like this. If you had it set up with the soft shackle and you popped it free, then it would tend to fall out. So if you wanted a little more hands-free, this would be the method to use. Okay, what about buckles? How is the buckle going to work with a thin strand and a thick strand? That's not going to be very good, right? So what you can do is either do the soft shackle, hook the soft shackle up, then you can use your buckle like that. Or when you install this in the end of your hammock, you can take this loose a little bit and then pull this part of the loop, and you can set it up where it hangs out like this. So now you can just use your buckle on the thin part, and the buckle will work fine. And then you can just let this part hang here and be an extra water break to capture some water and bring it to the ground. So it will work with buckles too. For me, I'll probably use it with a whoopee sling or extension and use the soft shackle part. So you just take the pigtail and go through another splice loop, and then you go back through and let it lock up in there. And if you're using it with the soft shackle mode, you just set it up like that. That way these two strands grab it. And of course, this is going to work outstanding with a Beckett hitch. So check it out. We're just going to tie a Beckett hitch right here, like usual. So we got our Beckett hitch tied up right here. Now with the Beckett hitch, when you hang for a long time, it can be hard to untie. But with the pigtail, you can use the pigtail as a grab handle to pull it apart. Kind of like with the universal loop and the Beckett loop. I'll put links in the description about those. But whoa, we're getting a little crazy here. Let me fix this Beckett hitch. So as you hang with the Beckett hitch, it's going to look like that. It's going to get nice and snug. But that the pigtail is going to sit there and be an extra water break, and then it's going to be a perfect little grab handle when you're ready to untie. So that's the pigtail loop for your hammock. Hope you guys liked it. Check my community tab. I'm going to put up some of these for free for everybody to try out. And let me know what you think. See you guys in the next one. Thank you.